Hey there, my name is James and welcome back to another video. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm happy to have you here. So a lot of different college YouTubers have made this type of video before, like Justin, Nick Che, Nina Wang, and countless others. So I wanted to give you my perspective and my twist on reading my essays that got me into the college that I'll be attending this fall. So this will complete the trilogy of my Intro to College playlist videos. The first was my college decision reaction, the second was revealing my statistics and my grades, and the third is going to be my essay. So the essay is only one portion of your college application, and it might be the most important because it's where you get to express yourself and really be unique. So shameless plug here, if you want to see my college decision reaction or my statistics, you can check out the video playlist in the corner or in the description down below. So because I am a big boy YouTuber now, this video is going to act sort of like an informal who I am or about me video where you get to learn more about me and my hobbies and my passions besides YouTube and making videos. So before I jump into my essays, I wanted to preface it with just saying a couple of words. I didn't have the highest grades in high school. I was around a B to B plus student, whereas my friends were more like an A minus to A plus range. And I wasn't a straight A student as much as my mom would have liked, but being a B to B plus student, that gave me the opportunity to really find the things I love to do without being too focused on schoolwork and really chasing grades. Some of my friends who are straight A students, they were really stressed and focused about always getting the 100 on their test and studying up late until the night, maybe pulling some all-nighters to really get the best marks in all their grades. And I would say that their mental health and certainly their physical health, I think you know who I'm talking about if you're watching this video, definitely declined a little bit. Whereas I was a little bit more chillaxed and relaxed, I guess you could say, about just, I'll try my best, but if it's not in the 100, it's not really going to hurt me. And there are countless articles comparing A students to C students, and even though I wasn't a C student, I kind of grouped myself between like a really hardcore studious student versus a more chillaxed, laid-back type of person. Sometimes I'm really hardworking, really studious when I get into that productivity zone, but also I just like to have fun. So with that flexibility, I got to figure out the things that I liked and the things that I disliked. I got to try out violin, I got to try out photography, I got to try this YouTube, I got to try out a bunch of things, some landscaping and some home improvement projects. So that was a lot of fun, especially in semester 2 of senior year, where seniors have more free time. It really helps me to just take a step back from grades, still be focused on grades, but not to be tunnel vision and hyper-focused on just getting the hundreds, and take a step back and look at the bigger picture of what makes you happy. So another thing I wanted to point out is that college essays, they take a lot of time. I wish I had started so much earlier than I did, because it's not just something you can whip up overnight. It takes a lot of time to prepare, to think about them, and to really contemplate the best way to word things and the best way to structure things so it makes sense for the college admissions readers. I'm paraphrasing something from my former English teacher, but basically he said you want to write something and then you want to have a couple days to just think about it in your head, and then you want to come back to it at a later date so your brain has that time to think about it, and then at a later date it will become fresh, renewed, and then you can see all the mistakes that you made on your first round. And it's a little bit like cooking. You want to marinate your food so it has more time to be savory and to be more scrumptious. So kind of like your writing, the more time you give it, to a certain extent, it's going to be that much better. So UConn did not have any supplementals, which are extra essays given to applicants directly from the college. So I was very lucky on that portion. I just had to send in my application fee and the general essay. And my general essay was focused around photography, how I bought a new camera, bought a couple new lenses, and started to collect some gear and really get focused into the business aspect of photography. So if you're an underclassman, the way that college applications, at least for the essay portion, works is that you have 7 or 8 prompts and you can use your 650 words no matter how you choose. So whether that is copying, pasting Black Lives Matter 650 times, or that is writing to your heart's content in a creative narrative style, that's certainly up to you. And then that general essay gets sent out to all the different colleges. But this is the moment you've all been waiting for, me reading my general essay. So here we go. So this is my 20-second version of my Common App essay, kind of like the general essay that we send to all the colleges. The Common App is a portal where you can submit your application for colleges, and most of the colleges are on the Common App. Some colleges are on the Coalition app, so those are 2 different portals that you can choose either one, depending on what type of colleges and what type of schools you want to apply to. I chose the Common App. I believe the majority of students will choose the Common App, but you can talk to your guidance counselor or your advisors to see which fits you better, the Coalition app or the Common App. So this took me 22 different edits to finally have something I could send to all my colleges. And by the end of my last college that I was sending this to, I was just wiped. I didn't want to write an essay, at least for that month. I was just super tired of writing college essays and just wanted to lie on my bed and actually fall asleep. Click, click, click. The shutter of my camera shattered the silence as I took my friend's senior portraits on the lawn of the public library. Perfect. Great, you're all set. I'll edit these and then send them over to you. Excited to stretch my creative muscles in editing, I hurried home, plugged my SD card into my computer, and went to work. So this first paragraph sets up the hook of the essay, and so this is where you want to draw on your reader, notably the college admissions officers, because they're reading thousands of these a day, and so you want to make yours stand out in the most distinct way possible. So something with a hook or something exciting, something with dialogue will really draw them in. Last year, I remember holding my first professional camera. The smooth leather rolled off my fingers, the buttons made a satisfying click, and the screen swiveled around 180 degrees. For a trip to the Boston Aquarium with my friends, I wanted a higher digital camera than my phone, so I borrowed one from my local media studio, not really thinking much of it. I took over 300 photos, wanting to take a picture of everything: fish, coral, seagulls, and plants. I wanted to capture the present and create memories for the future. I wanted to appreciate the occasion and look back to see how much I had progressed. I only knew the basics of how to operate a camera, so every photo I took was either too bright or too dark. So this paragraph sets up the background of me getting into photography and really learning the basics. And that Boston Aquarium trip was my first experience with a entry-level camera, and it was quite the experience because I didn't really know what I was doing with that camera. So I just put it in full auto, which is an absolute sin in photography. But you know, I did it for my first try. And here are some of the pictures. As you can see, they are quite atrocious. But you know, I got better, and over my year and a half of photography, I can say that for certain. So in this paragraph, I really used onomatopoeia. I used a lot of descriptive words to create an environment of feeling, to really portray the environment as best as I could for the reader. I talked about my background and how I started from humble roots, I guess you could say. Determined to improve my skills, I researched different entry-level cameras, watched video reviews, and asked my friend, a portrait photographer, for tips and tricks. I wanted to learn how to control the frame and combine the camera's sensitivity to light, lens speed, and depth of field to create the perfect photo. Earlier this year, I purchased a Canon SL2, the one that I have right now, the perfect entry camera that I could grow into. I later created my business called Shung Studios to jump into action and take portraits. I wanted to interact with people to help them create lasting experiences, so I offered to take portraits for my senior class. Even in the darkest of times, figuratively and literally, I'm able to grab my camera and find beauty amidst the chaos and craziness of this world. With photography, I get to bring a smile to people's faces and help them create moments of happiness and light, even in turbulent times. So this paragraph set up my journey of beginning photography to learning more about the craft, learning more about the art form, really investing into my business, investing into myself with the money that I had at the time from Christmas and birthdays. The sentence, even in the darkest of times, was something that my sister and I kind of threw in there just as a reference to the pandemic and trying to pull out the reader's heartstrings a little bit. August of senior year. So this is when like COVID was at its peak or second peak during the summer. So that was really pertinent during that time. The learning curve was challenging and I enjoyed absorbing new information. Recently, I got into editing photos to deliver an enhanced final product. I taught myself how to meticulously adjust the amount of light, the intensity of colors, and contrast to fit each photo. By able to seeing what works, what doesn't, and tweak the photo for clients, I'm able to freeze the moment in time. I learned Adobe Suite, which opened a new horizon of technology that helped me improve my editing and photo manipulation skills. This paragraph talks about the learning curve and the process after taking those photos, because like being a photographer, you have to be a jack of all trades, which I love. I love having different roles and different aspects and different areas of work. I get to learn about photo editing, I get to learn about handling a camera, I get to learn about audio, I get to learn about photos. So that's what I really like to do. This paragraph focused on how I like to tweak and fix photos so that's the perfect image for clients, and being able to freeze the moment in time for posterity, and just being able to look back on past photos and relive those memories is something that I wanted to convey with this paragraph. I never knew I would love photography as much as I do now. If I had not thought to bring that camera to the aquarium, I would never have experienced the joy of composition and capturing memories. Revisiting the photos that started it all, I chuckled to myself. This one is horrible. Most of them are, in fact, pretty horrendous. However, I love reflecting and seeing my progression in the past year. Not only have I learned more about photography, but I've also found an outlet that allows me to design and be creative. While I transform photos, the art of photography has also transformed me. So this paragraph is the closer. It really brings home my love for photography and sells the idea of me as a photographer, and how photography has changed me, but I'm also able to change photography in the way that I edit photos and send them off to my friends and clients. So I had 100 more words for this essay. This essay is around 540 words and the cap is around 650, but I couldn't really think of anything that I wanted to add to this body of work that would make it even better than it already is. And sometimes that's okay. You don't have to fill up all of the maximum allotted words. If your essay is under it and you get the point across in a concise, specific way, then that's just fine. You don't have to have more fluff on top of fluff. At the end of the day, you don't want your reader to be thinking, when is this essay going to end? This essay is really dragging on, it's being repetitive, and if he could just get to the point, or he or she could just get to the point, that would be so much better. So I really want to stick with the point and just talk about me, my love for photography, how it's really shaped me, and how I progressed as a human being, learning about the art of photography, learning about the editing skills, and I'm talking really fast because my camera's about to die, I can see it in the LCD. But that is my essay. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. I would love to talk with you. You can DM me on Instagram. I've been plugging that a lot at JamesIchon. It is getting late because I like to film these videos around midnight because that's when I have free time. Anyways, with that being said, smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.